Hello and welcome back to another Napoleon Total War. We are doing a 3v3. With over here we got the HC clan, and over here we do have the SUNTZU. I think that's how I pronounce them. Ran into these guys a fair few times, and they are actually pretty damn good players. Not disregarding the fact that the HC is also pretty damn good players as well. My Norwegian friend Maris has also been playing with them quite a lot as well, and has said that they do destroy him every time. So here straight off the back, you got obviously the French, the British, and Prussians against two sets of Austrians and some Ottomans. Oh, as you can see here straight away, everyone's rushing the cavalry. I say everyone. The French and the British are moving the cavalry into slightly better locations. Also going to be slightly careful. I'm an Empire's not actually bringing those little Scipii cavalry, which I'm actually slightly surprised about, because those cavalry are ridiculously powerful. But of course they will have their little melee units here. So you've got to watch out, especially on this hill, because also there won't be as much range in terms of using the muskets into firepower. But as you can see here, they're not really pushing for a straight up charge. Put them nice close. There they go. They're moving up their guys now a little bit. They'll probably try and hit some of the cavalry, keeping a strong formation up here while the French are pushing up. I believe this army's nasty. I think there's ICU, another one's the other guy whose name I forgot. I apologise, but we will see it all at the end. And we'll see what here. You got some light foot, some King German light foot. King's German light foot is the same stats as the Prussian Fusiliers light infantry. That'll probably prove for some interesting course of gunfire. As you can see here already, Austria has the Landbattle, which I believe, I'm terrible with pronunciations. Either way, I'm just gonna say that now. Yeah, they are the militia-esque skirmish units. So, not the best, but they do have the additional range against the Prussians. And the bad thing is they're probably going to run out of ammo before anything really happens. A few rounds firing off now. I probably would believe a few is falling dead down here. Yeah, as you can see, all flying overhead. Be able to be slightly careful, as they can't shoot them. There's a high chance that can shoot you back. Obviously now, as you can see, the cavalry charging. There are some gunshots over there. I will be there ever so shortly, but when the Ottomans start pushing up, I like to be there because it gets interesting. Be careful, pretty wise. You got some spikes down straight away. I would have done moving these back just a little bit sooner. Not going to suffer too much casualties there, so as you can see they've got set up, plus a fair few guns behind, a few British people aiding as well. You've got to be careful because you could end up shooting a couple of these French in the back. Some Austrians now charging down with their cavalry. You've got to be careful charging light infantry like that, because you're going to get a lot of shots into you. So actually stalling like this, they should have just carried on charging that and hoped for the best. I'm quickly going to dash over to the other side, and I say that, but oh, just managed to take them down. Wonderful. Over here now, how are the Prussians dealing with this up here? The Prussians being charged with cavalry as well, and they get caught up slightly. You've got to be slightly careful with this. They are Hungarian Fusiliers, so they are just a little bit better than standard Fusiliers, but light infantry isn't really the best in prolonged melee. Managed to get his musketeers here. Oh no, did he get them in the square? I don't know. Kinda almost. It's probably the best way I'm going to describe that. There you go, Fusiliers just returning a bit of fire now. Again, guns here are just falling dead ever so slightly. You've got to be careful because once the their Fusiliers line up here, they're going to get shot pretty easily, so as you can see he's putting them back ever so slightly. Probably could do a running opposed to walking over here. That's going to print a normal standoff. You've got the guns doing here. A couple grenadiers marching out. You've got some skirmishes to worry about from getting shot on the side. Over here, however, the Austrian army has been slightly caught off flank here by the British light infantry. You can say Ottomans are actually playing a little bit more passive than I would have expected. I would expect them to try and push up here as much as they can, because they've got a few buildings. It's not really the best in the world, but you've got some buildings there obviously for a bit of protection against missile fire. Over here, as you can see, more cavalry has swept in from the side. Ulan's not really the best in terms of morale, but did manage to get a little cloud off, and hopefully they did kill they don't kill anyone. They killed a guy. I'm gonna put that down to that. They killed a guy there. So be careful here. They are in tree advantage. They will, as the forest around here will absorb a fair few bullets. to keep an eye out. Over here though, however, everything seemed to kicked off. You got some more Hungarian Fusiliers charging again. Did manage to get the square up in time. Wonderful. You've got to be careful now because you also got a fair few sets of men up here, so they can absorb additional fire damage for no massive reason. Sadly though, however, they didn't pull back their Prussian Fusiliers here. That would have been, I would say, probably been a better choice to charge those first opposed to the Musketeers, but it's paid off well because they've marched down straight into the other set of Musketeers here. As you can see, it's forcing Prussia to pull back a little bit. Now Prussia starts to use their the actual Lancer cavalry to push up a little bit. Got to be careful here because Grenadiers are starting to move up. Prussia still have a lot of men here, but obviously so do Austria, so it's going to be slightly hard to move up. 3v3s, man, you get to announce quite a lot. That's crazy. If you understand me, congratulations. Over here, we're back into the French. Some gunfire has been set off. I don't know what the payout load was like, but as you can see here, some 3-0 lines have been charged by some of the melee infantry. So you've got to be careful of that. And what's happening up here. In terms of the gunfire, though, their cavalry. Trying to see who probably got the better payoff and all of that, but the looks of it, it's probably the French, but he's going to be careful as these melee's happening within the tree line over here. Back over here, however, he is slowly, the British army is slowly harassing the crap out of all the Fusiliers and stuff here. It's going to be slightly careful. You've got some men here on the flank, or you could just pull that guy sort of just to shoot into them a little bit, try and take some extra additional damage. But over here, though, apparently everything has still sort of kicked off. By the looks of it, the Austrians are now in the back, so I'm not too sure what happened to all of their men. They probably pulled some away. Didn't engage these as much as I thought he would. But be careful there because obviously he's now just absorbing bullets through the hill line. Light infantry against Grenadiers. I'll put my money on the Grenadiers, but they do have additional firepower, so even if the Prussians do lose, the Austrians won't be standing there for long. And as I was saying that, some Prussian cavalry did manage to get hit into the side of the Hungarian Fusiliers, giving them an extra firepower, or extra few shots into the armies. Okay, with that, I'll just start moving some of these back now because they're sort of half crossing in, so they can get into melee. Don't really want that too much. Hungarians are a little bit better in terms of melee against the Prussians, as you can see here. About pulling them back, he has managed to rout some light infantry. But the cavalry is making short work of everything. It's forced these guys into square formation now. Probably best just to, yeah, it's not going to engage into combat. It's going to give these two lines here a few extra shots into there and doing a little bit more damage. But he's going for the cavalry, delaying their reinforcements, it seems, over here. Britain, as Britain does, it plays passively. So we're going to come over here to more gunfire. It's all in the trees. I can't see anything in the trees, but some cavalry has been charging, and you've got some of the Ottomans charging here. The guys are still in square formation, however. They are old guards, so they're going to have a very tough time breaking the French's right-hand side in that. But hopefully with all this additional firepower, we do get to see some wonderful, wonderful action, and see Ottomans just bringing up an extra set of light infantry to help engage. Personally, it would be better just to put them more here and across, so you get a little bit of cover from the buildings and the tree lines, so you can see these guys, but at the same time you won't get shot by guys in the back, although they are slightly too far away to fully engage, so we don't have to worry too much about that. I'm still so intrigued at what's happening down here. I will quickly go over here though, because I do see some cavalry on the minimap that managed to charge in. The Austrians are doing a lot of pressure here against the Prussians. Prussian now sending off his cavalry, so he's going to delay the Hungarian lancers and all of that. What actually are these? They're dragoons! Personally, I believe they are the worst of the heavy cavalry. Their payout isn't really as much as they deliver. You get faster units, you can get stronger units for about the same price. But to say that though, they sort of doing the, I say they're doing the job. They managed to get these guys all here pretty much in, and they did manage to rout. Prussia's left-hand side isn't looking too good currently. Austria is actually doing pretty well. I'm surprised Austria now hasn't set up into his. There we go. So, get out to square formation, swing this out properly. Although the dragoon guards from the British army has managed to rout down the ranged skirmish units of the Austrians, while meanwhile pushing up some of his light infantry, just pretty harass these lines here, buckle them down before he engages his main army. And up here is a very similar story. Going back over to the French and the Ottoman fight. Ottomans are actually pushing up now. They kind of got the I wouldn't say they actually got the advantage here. There's still a lot of French armies. You've got the Volunteers here, which could harass them quite easily. All in the tree lines though. Personally, I wouldn't want to gauge the Ottomans in tree lines. Your rounds don't do quite as good. And he's got some more cavalry now charging into the line of the Volunteers. The French has managed to pull back their men. I wouldn't say perfectly in time, but they have saved more than they did.
Our general is under attack.
And the general was also engaged into melee. bit risky. But as I was saying, engaging the Ottomans, probably want to do it in dense trees purely because of their melee capabilities. It's really loud in there. I'm going to see what's happening now. Britain's starting to fall back. We'll push back the Austrians. There we go. I like my mind just kind of stopped working. Looking at it here, actually, it's gone pretty tight for the Prussians there. They could either try and hit it all now, everything they got to try and get this advantage here. They can't really take the buildings, so you got grenadiers, and then obviously window payout wouldn't really get enough off in shots to determine any great usefulness. The Hungarians, however, looks like they're going to catch the foot guards off the course of action. It's going to send in this cavalry. We'll send them in now before they do manage to get around. Not firing, so either there we go. Nope, they squared them. Alright, that's going to help them a little bit. It's going to catch this unit slightly off on an angle here of the grenadiers. Hopefully it won't be too much of a damage loadout. I'm going to go down here to the wonderful British army and the French to see how all this is going. The French army is a bit on the back foot here in terms of the hill, but most of the conflict here is, like we said, happening within the tree line. The French managed to deal with this right hand side. Ottomans will need to either A, force melee or try and slug it out against them in terms of gunfire, but the French are the tree lines against the Ottomans. I don't have much hope for the Ottoman Empire really to do that with great effectiveness. So we go down there, square formation. I don't even know where the cavalry is now. You got some cavalry here that did manage to charge into some Swiss foot. I believe the Swiss foot did get into square. And that's another unit routed. It's all going crazy. Voltigeurs here is shooting a few Hungarian Fusiliers up here on the hill. If they get close enough, their archways are nothing to shoot as well, so I'm not too worried about that. They'll get the first shot off, but there are two units, so you've got to be careful here of these guys when you pull them back. Britain setting up his men here to hit them on the side flank, which is going to be incredibly useful for them. There's 3 units, I didn't realise that. People don't seem to spread out their men as much as one would assume in this. I'm going to quickly dart over back again to the Prussians and the Austrians to see how that is faring. I feel like I have slightly neglected this side here considering the amount of crap that's happened. Looking at it now, you've got some, also you can clearly see grenadiers against their lines. You've got some bolt fire here. I still managed to rout some of the Austrians as well. You can never really underestimate the Prussians, especially you've got the elite infantry in here as well, but the Hungarians are definitely chasing them down. You don't want to get into melee with them, especially when they outnumber you, which is rare because grenadiers come with quite a few less units than normal sets of infantry. Oh, we're back into over here. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to go down to the trees and speak loudly because everyone ends up putting into melee. There we go. The counter to the melee infantry is cavalry. And the cavalry has managed to hit those pretty damn hard. They haven't really got anything. Oh no, they bring up some more melee infantry to cover the flank. I don't know what they got here. They got some guys here within the tree lines, as you can see, shooting. They were in square formation, just pulled them out. Not too sure now what the French has planned. I think just the normal slugging out here is actually paying off them in terms of loadout. It's actually the British cavalry that came in here. I believed it was a French at first glance, with some horse guards do pay off. Britain is pretty good down with their cavalry. There you go. I don't know why they're pulling back so much. What have we got? They had enough men to put into square. Could have covered their tree at least with the grenadiers. But the bad thing is doing that, you get open, or you're acceptable to a fair few more gunshots. But over here, it looks like the Prussians don't really have enough men to fully hold back or push this. So they kind of got a few men here, as you can see. He's coexisting next to the British army. General still in good nick though. No one's actually been hit with the general. I'm going to go back over to the Ottomans in a second, so I see a lot of cavalry moving about. I say moving about. They're standing about. I find it hard to commentate this. I don't even know what's there. I can hardly see it. There's gunfire, surprisingly. But what I will assume which is happening, that the French is pulling back their men and the cavalry has managed to pull up with them. So we've got some extra gunfire, some cavalry here now engaging into the fray. We've got some screen shakes, some dramatic screen shaking. Fucking hell do we. We've got some Swiss foot here in square formation. It's going to help them fight here, hopefully delay the French crusaders a little bit. French do have some relatively decent cavalry. A few more pop shots going in here now. Hungarians and the French are pulling back their men to avoid any unnecessary casualties. Probably keeping up the Baltic gear for gunfire to pick off and dwindle away their numbers there. As you can see here, the Austrians now do have a rather large advantage over the I said that really posh for some reason, I don't know why. Have a bit of an advantage over here against the Prussians. You got grenadiers, man, calm down. I was saying, yeah, you have more of a spread, so you got more of a surround, which means they're going to have to move out their men a lot more. You've got to be careful now for the British, since they've got to be careful, the British got to be careful of them, because I don't see the Prussians holding up too much of resistance. I'm assuming that guy over here, yeah. Ooh, pardon me. You can charge the general in. If you're going to lose, you're going to go out with a fight. That's what I do. But they are foot guards though, so they will probably hold this line relatively well, but due to the numbers and the overwhelming amount of gunfire, I don't see the left-hand side holding all that much. By the looks of it though, the French are ever so slightly getting ground up here. I do believe they have managed to win the forest battle, which is wonderful news for this team, for the HC group. Sure now the Ottomans are in. The Ottomans are actually pulling right back. He's going for a big spire around. Prussians go, Austrians march down here, the French march up here. Oh, I thought it was cavalry, I was slightly disappointed. Or is it cavalry? It's cavalry. Actually, yeah, if you can catch up with these, cavalry will take down these easily. It's probably the cavalry you want to get rid of, because cavalry can be a pain in the ass when you're slugging it out in terms of gunfire. Over here though, it seems like the Austrians are finally starting to charge. I'm not too sure why the Prussians didn't go into square formation. I don't think he's overly busy with much else, because he's not exactly moving his men a lot. Maybe he's AFK. Maybe he's AFK. Over here, I realize like the French has managed to claim the higher ground. It's now going to be slowly pushing down. I don't know how much ammo the Voltigier's got left, because since now the I don't think the Ottomans actually run any terms of skirmishers or light infantry, but if they got enough ammo just to whittle down a lot of these troops here. They don't have as much troops as the French, and also you got the British reinforcements as well, so the Austrians got to look ever so slightly helpful there. Over here, however, I believe this is soon going to be it for the Prussians. Yeah, foot guards managed to fight off some Hungarians. Hungarians are, yeah, they're going to say they're probably pretty knackered right now. So in terms of physical energy, the Prussians are currently on the higher foot, which means their combat effectiveness will be a slight advantage over the Austrians, but I fear due to the Austrians having far superior numbers, it'll be a different story. I believe you need a max of 48 to do a square. I don't think that's true, so you've got to be careful with that cavalry here. Everyone's starting to run out of ammo now, but that's still going to be a good unit just to absorb a few shots if need be. She's pulling them back now, just obviously you don't want them to get wasted out for no reason. Oh, some of the Ottoman cavalry did manage to get a nice charge into the fusiliers of the line. So you have to be careful. Actually, he's going to push straight on to the next step, but they've already got themselves in the square formation. Also, we've got to be careful now with the shots coming in from the Hungarians, but it looks like the British is starting to move up their men and actually aid into this battle. Other people on square now, I don't really see the cavalry pushing up doing that much damage, but they've all obviously done quite a bit of damage to that line that they managed to hit first. Oh, that's just them doing a recharge. I thought that more people charging. As you can see here on the right, the French cavalry has managed to get into the combat and got the upper hand. Oh, there you go, they do have the Salazar guard. I really cannot pronounce some of the names in these games. It looks like the other Austrian army is now starting to push up quite heavily against the British. Prussia actually still was going with a few units, so I don't really knock them out of the battle yet. You can see push up here. I don't know if he's going to be putting those guys back. He is going for a straight up charge. You'll see got some cavalry here you're going to be worried about, so he's going to have to force these guys into square formation probably sooner rather than later. You got some more as the lifeguards here from the British marching in. I don't know if they will clip, but hopefully they haven't clipped into them. But let's hope they do get a few shots off to actually aid in that. They did kill a couple, and then boom, you got the lifeguards coming in to help everybody. You got some Hungarians here, a big bulk charge in the middle, managed to divide their lines a bit. So they've got much higher combat efficiency. I can't say words today. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. Over here, however, you got some more of the cavalry marching. That's absolutely madness. Obviously, you've got to be careful here. If your cavalry, they manage to get the square formation, you're going to pull these guys back. Pretty get these guys out of square, pull them back a little bit more, because you've got these guys here starting to line up to get fires, plus these units will be shooting you as well. And that's when you want to barrage like that hitting you. But that said, the British and the Ottomans are both doing that. They managed to break that one, which is wonderful. Some French units, I believe, routed. I believe these are ones around here, probably somewhere. Managed to get in square formation ever so slightly in time. Everybody's taking such heavy losses in this battle. Probably apart from Britain. Britain seems to be doing the best so far, but now they got to worry about this Austrian army and the portion of this army. The Prussians that do rather efficient enough damage for them not to be the biggest pain in the ass, but they're still going to be a needle. You know, sort of just sticking in there. Oh, the French have got the Ottomans completely on the back foot. Last thing you want now to complete trade, so it's just like you're not there, you're down here. Could have done with putting these guys back a little bit more. Or a little bit sooner, I should have said, to put these guys into square formation, which I do believe they do. Or do they not do? Well, they didn't do, but they are the Highland foot, so they do have better melee attack, while the foot are better on defense. I don't know if that's the other way around. But them being Scots, I pretty managed them to have the better attack. There you go, engage them as well. I don't have to read too much about these guys charging. The Scots will break through them anyway, plus you got the extra gunfire from the light infantry. However, over here, you got to pull these guys back pretty quickly. Not so the foot here can hold the line, but you got to be careful here as well. So everyone tries to go for your general staff, they could just get one unit straight up and shoot into them, which could cause more losses than you will actually want. You're breaking some of the Austrians here. I'll go over to the French again in a second. I don't know if you've got any Prussians standing around, so I don't know if the Prussians have on it. They got some foot guards here. They are, however, I know, I thought they were looking away. To be fair, if I was the Prussians, I'll just put them in the building and let them do what they do, because they'll have a little bit better time in terms of melee then as well. Got the French cavalry marching up here. I don't know how well they're going to do against the actual generals. So you got some reinforcements here from Swiss foot. It's probably the guys that ran out of ammo ever so slightly earlier. Also been charged here with your Voltigeurs, and if your Voltigeurs ran out of ammo or not, but it would have been wise pushing them back because these guys are still firing, so I assume they got some land left. I believe this is the yep, you can say I believe this is the Ottomans, which is wonderful. Get rid of that little box. Hopefully now with that morale, they could have hopefully just turned to hit all these guys and hopefully broke these two units after the morale shock. But obviously they're not the best in terms of morale themselves. Surprised the Voltigeurs actually managed to push these guys off. But also you got another set of infantry marching in here, so hopefully they'll be able to do a little bit better. As you can see here, the French bring up the general to give them morale boost here. Hopefully break these two units, and you can use these again to hit more into the Ottomans. The Ottomans are pretty much all but out of the game. What happened to the British? Jesus Christ. I just turned and just see Austrians, so like, huh? Yeah, you may want to move your men a little bit quicker. There you go. Like, yeah, we should run. Most guys here are up in square formation. Not really too much of a massive threat, as you can see here. Obviously, they managed to get into a charge. What they? Ooh, as Thai say, are pretty much outnumbering them 2-1. But then again, foot guards are pretty good sets of infantry. Not the best light infantry in the game. I assume that's these guys here. I don't know why I opened that up, but I just closed it. That's pretty good. That means the Austrians are going to suffer a bit of a morale loss, so hopefully they'll be able to push off the Austrians here. I'm looking at the mini-map. I don't know who's... I would say that the HC clan is currently winning. The French still do have a lot of men left. They're just chasing down the British. Probably wouldn't bother doing this. I don't know if you got a spare bit of cavalry or not, but that is 2 units at 3. You get general staff, send your general staff in there because they can catch up easily. Send these 2 back and help fight in this fight here, because currently the British are doing very well against the Austrians. I say very well. They are definitely in the upper hand in all of the battle. So it's not going to be too long now until they manage to do that. Oh, the Ottomans are gone. I thought this was one more set of Ottomans over here. I turn over here some Grenadiers for no reason whatsoever. Some British also do have some men up here, some foot guards at that. As you can see here, these guys stopped doing their chase, which is about time. So they're going to be marching up there, and then now the help fight of the British here, though it looks like it is in vain. They're the men they really got to hit the British. These guys here are slightly behind them. Not too sure why they didn't take advantage of that while they could. The foot guards did win. They managed to get a couple sets of stripes there as well in terms of the combat. Some Ottomans are actually still knocking about. They are not going to do anything there. I don't know if you even got a little bit of cavalry. You got... it's not enough to send in properly. Just send a Voltigeur squad if they've got any ammo left, whittled down a bit, and the cavalry to hit if they get too close.
Victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Well, thank you, dear boy. Having a look now, the foot guards are still actually holding. I'm quite pleased the Prussians managed to see the end of this battle. I say that they could still possibly die. It's only really these Austrians here that's going to prove any form of the threat, but the British now sort of enclosing upon them pretty easily. And you also got some ooh, pardon me, I don't know where that came from. Ooh, pardon me. You also got these Hungarians as well, but I actually thought that was going to kill them, but all of these guys here ammo landed there. So they're kind of at the equator, we can knock that out now. So I believe this is going to be the final showdown here. What we're looking at, as you can see, I won't put money, just in a good location to not get shot by all of that light infantry. Go on. Charge them out, send them out, die like men. Meanwhile,
one of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
I assume this is going to be terrain. But yeah, I was going to say I don't see them standing, and everyone's routing now apart from the two Austrians here, and I don't see them bringing this battle back around. Oh. And they break. Sorry, I'm stretching. Oh, I have a habit of stretching. It's good today. Alright, I believe that's game. I have been Carpus. I hope you enjoyed. The box will come up any second now to see who it was. If you're joining by the HC group of Natty, I see you, and then there's dots. Hopefully, I think that's it. And let's cut off the screen. And I was about to call them Lego, but it's not called Lego. And of course, we have the SUNTZU group there as well. Well played by everybody, really. It was actually rather tense. There was a bit where I thought the Austrians overwhelmed the British a little bit, but in turn they all pull through. Wonderful. I've been Carpus. Hope you enjoyed this battle with the HC group. I do believe we have another game on Lodi from these guys to be set up, and I hope you enjoyed.